The Demarcation Board of South Africa is considering a request for the amalgamation of Msunduzi Municipality and the Richmond Municipality. This would make KZN's second largest city, Pietermaritzburg, into a metropolitan city. An ultimate decision on this is expected in February next year. For more on this, the Municipal Demarcation Board CEO, Manye Moroka, joins us now. Manye, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Perhaps from a procedural standpoint, can you explain to us how an amalgamation of two municipalities or two wards happens from a process perspective, which of course I would imagine includes public participation?
Good evening, Oliver, and your viewers. Well, this time around we're talking about amalgamation of municipalities within a municipal redetermination area, not the wards. The wards are within a municipality itself. Normally what happens, an application is submitted to the board, and in doing so, the board then considers that application on the basis of what the researchers would have sort of infused in the application. Now, in this instance, a whole range of processes were followed, stakeholders were met, members of communities were met, and in the end, the board then felt on the 28th of February this year that there's a need for further engagement on the process. And as such, the matter was deferred as one of the 13 cases that are deferred. And that's for the specific municipalities that you referred to,
How does the process which is employed in South Africa for the amalgamation of two municipalities, how does it ensure that we don't fall victim to gerrymandering?
There are a number of areas or pointers looked at. The income generation on the basis of what is realizable and not only what is said. So we do not go out of the way to go and make recommendations for amalgamations of municipalities only for those to be supported through DORA funding. They must have confirmed the status of own income, and a metro is a metro. It's treated differently. It's accredited with a whole range of other powers and functions. And you know that those are linked in terms of the MSA sections 84 and 85. That's what we consider. So we don't just consider the minute or what we call minuscule areas. It's the big things. And it must be for the betterment of those municipalities that are being amalgamated. Now, here's something that I need you to also ponder on. In the past, there have been amalgamations. And in the past, there have been those that never worked. And there are quite a number of examples. So those are our precedents on what not to do to amalgamate.
Yeah, let's take a look at one such case in the past, right? Metropolitan Municipality or the amalgamation of Randfontein Municipality and the Western Area Municipality into Rand West City. That amalgamation was one that went through the exact procedure that you had described, but after the fact, residents had realized that they're disgruntled because there was a disparity in the resources and a disparity in services that were afforded to residents. Many of them, after the fact, protested and wanted that to be reversed. One, is the process reversible? And two, how do we safeguard against residents not knowing what the effects and impact of an amalgamation could be?
Let me rather go and deal with one that is before the board. Currently, there is one between Tlokwe, which is Potchefstroom, and Ventersdorp. The two were amalgamated back then, and there's a proposal now before the board to say de-amalgamate us. We used to be better off before, and some say you are currently better now, but both, or at least the other one, is still not an own income generating municipality. So that's what we look at. Now, with the case of Randburg, because I don't have that one in front of me, but if I go back into the report that I saw, there was a time when it was the better amalgamation in South Africa. It's not like the worst of the worst.
Yeah. Lastly, do municipalities have to demonstrate income generation and fiscal prudence before the amalgamation process or after the fact?
There's a detailed format of capacity assessments. In it, it sort of has got pointers on what it is that you must do to be regarded as self-sufficient. Now, if you pass that and the ticks are made in all the right boxes, that's what is then taken to the board for determination. But the research team and what we call the aftercare program thereon will go and say, okay, that which was in the document must be verified that it's an own income generating municipality. In the past, we struggled a bit, but now we know which areas, no matter how good the application is, those are likely not to be own income generating municipalities, but there are those others that are.
Just when we say own income generation, how much of the money of the municipality must come from income it generated? Most municipalities do generate income. It's just that some, more than others, depend on grants.
I don't know whether you know this topic of a municipality passing a unfunded budget. Now, a funded budget is a budget that is premised on what a municipality was able to raise through its rates and taxes.
Yeah.
That's a budget, yes. Now, once a municipality is unable to do that, it then is rendered as a municipality that is dependent on equitable share through the DORA funding.
Okay.
That's not only, yes, that's the difference.
We're going to have to leave it there. Manye Moroka, thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Manye Moroka is the Chief Executive Officer of the Municipal Demarcation Board.